in the special, you talk about like you've always had this ability, and you think very strongly that you should be able to joke about the darkest things and the most difficult stuff that you've gone through. Have you ever tried to joke about something and then the crowd did not go for the ride?
All the time.
Yeah. Okay.
All the time. That whole dead dad jokes stuff was getting nothing. But I thought it was funny, and I had comedians being like, dude, that's so funny. Saying your dad relaxed to death is so funny. And then I would say it, and people would be like, oh, and you're like, ah, but then that adds to it, because then you get the whole perspective of like, well, why are you upset about my dad's death? Right. I don't remember you being there when I was 14. Where were you? Were we hanging out? Did you know Gary? Because if so, I'd like to know more about him. Yeah, let me in. But I find like the funniest I've ever been in my life is when the most fucked up shit has happened. Like real, like I was funny when my dad died. I was funny when my sister got killed. I was funny when I got robbed at gunpoint, when I got hogtied and pistol whipped. It was like I was out at lunch making my friends laugh, and they're like, what the hell? And you're like, this is just my defense mechanism. I'm doing this so everything doesn't shut down, being funny. And that's what I love about comedians. Comedians were the first people that I met that I showed up and you'd make a fucked up joke and they're like, oh yeah. Like just taking it. Like when I moved to New York and I started hanging out with Joe List and Nate Bargatze, and then you start falling in, you start meeting people, like watching Michael Che doing open mics, and immediately you're like, this guy's insane. But then he's my drinking buddy, and then you're like talking shit, and now I've watched him become, he's like a seasoned anchor of Weekend Update. That's insane. But you watch other friends, you know, watching Amy Schumer get big and other people around you, you know, Pete Davidson. It's just, you watch people you know get famous, and it's awesome because you're like, I know these people. But what gravitated to me to the Big J's and the Nates and the Joes was just our sensibility was so, we're from completely different worlds. And a lot of times there's an age difference of like, Nate's 5 years older than me. He's from Old Hickory, Tennessee. I'm from Aurora, Colorado. We get along, our sensibilities match up, and I found that more in stand-up.